Yesterday I let you know about a price increase there at Princess Cruises, and so today I am going to talk with you with some strategies about how to manage your onboard credit, some things to keep in mind as you have onboard credit and you want to use it to your best advantage. Also, we've got quite a few cruise cancellations, itinerary changes. I not only want to make sure that you're aware of them, but some things to keep in mind when things like this happen, and maybe some ways to manage that in your life as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Friday. It is April 18th of 2025. Today, Gordon and I have been married for 39 years. So I just wanted to share this special day with you all, and we are going to do our live this evening. So come and join us between 8 p.m. Eastern Time and about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We talk about everything to do with cruising. I feel like we've got a lot to talk about with the changes that Princess has just recently made. Changes are coming to the Utopia of the Sea too. So many different things going on that we need to talk about, and so see you there. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and if you appreciate my updates, please give this video a thumbs up. Let's start at the very top with what I told you about yesterday. So if you missed my video yesterday, go back and watch that. But as we are aware that Princess is raising the price of the Plus package and the Premier package only when you book them on board. So if you book those packages to go on your cruise before you get on board the ship, you're still going to be paying that $60 per day per person for the Plus and the $90 per day per person for the Premier package. Once you get on board, they're going to charge you $5 more per day. Now, I know a lot of people like to hold off on buying those packages and just use their onboard credit on it. And I see that strategy. I get that strategy. It makes sense. But now with these price changes, I feel like we need to be a little bit wiser, and I even have an example here for you. But I want you to really shift the way that you think about how you manage your money when it comes to your onboard expenses. Your onboard expenses truly range from everything to like going on an excursion when you're in a port, to going to the spa, to going to the gift shop, if you pay for any specialty dining if you don't have a package that covers all of that, just really to anything extra that you choose to pay for while you're on the cruise. So if we've got people here that are brand new and they are worried about all these expenses, you know what? You can pay your cruise fare and go on a cruise, eat wonderful food, and never spend another penny. Just throwing that out there. That is a possibility. No problem. You can do that. But one thing that I think we need to think a little bit more about is how we manage our experience if we're going to visit ports. A lot of us like to book excursions before we get on the ship, and I fully believe that's a good way to do it, because if you're going to a destination and you know there's something that you want to do, book the excursion that you see that does that as soon as you see it, because it can sell out and there goes your chance. So as you do that though, when you do it with Princess and you click on the Pay Now, it drops down a box and it gives you the option about whether or not you want to apply your onboard credit to pay for that excursion. I always tell you, write down how you pay for all of your excursions. Write down if you applied any onboard credit, how much you paid with your credit card. That's really an important thing to do. And that's on all cruise lines. Make sure you do that. But anyway, as you see that, if you are going to have onboard credit left and you want to use what is there, make sure that those boxes are clicked. Princess automatically clicks them, so if you don't unclick the box, it is going to apply your onboard credit. So instead of thinking that I'm going to pay for my excursions now and use my onboard credit to pay for my package, just flip those. Pay for your package before you go, and then pay for your excursions with your onboard credit. If you don't have enough onboard credit to pay for your excursions, then you just use your credit card to pay the rest of it. Okay, that is a really important thing to remember. I know a lot of us can not be very careful when we're booking our excursions, not really worry about it, but if you're going to have very much onboard credit, make sure that you manage it wisely. The next thing that I want you to think about, say you're someone that is already sitting there. I saw somebody on our Facebook group and I really appreciated her asking the question. She said, you know what? I paid for all my excursions with my money, with her credit card. I was going to use my onboard credit for the package, but now that's going to not be such a great deal because I'm going to be paying $5 more per day. What would you do? If it was me, here's what you do. You go in, you look at all the excursions that you have booked, go in to Princess in the excursion section and see if the excursion that you've already booked and paid for, see if that still has availability on that excursion. If it does, then you cancel the one you have, and that will kick that account. It'll put the money back to your credit card. That just does it automatically. You don't have to call and ask anybody. Cancel that excursion. Click and rebook it again, and this time make sure that when you click on the Pay Now, you apply your onboard credit for it. Go through and do that. And the reason that it's so important to make sure there is still availability left before you cancel the excursion is sometimes excursions sell out, so you don't want to cancel it and then you never get it back again. But that's definitely what I would do. The other thing I want you to think in mind, and be honest with yourself what you spend your money on. Sometimes I go on a cruise and think, oh, I'm not going to spend money on anything. And then before you know it, I want to go get my hair done. Or I go in the gift shop and see something I like for someone, so I want to get that for them, whatever. And so your onboard credit can be used for things like that as well. So keep that in mind. And finally, if you end up with onboard credit left on your account, I can't tell you how to do this. I did it once. They just asked me to take the video down. The casino is your friend, is what I'm going to say. Okay? If you've got onboard credit left, that's an option. So in the comments, I want to hear from you all how you're thinking about all of this. Is this going to change how you do what you do with your onboard credit, how you're going to manage it with the packages, how you're going to manage it with the excursions, just all the things rolling forward. The next thing I wanted to talk about, I am still so excited about yesterday. I told you all about, and if you missed that video, you got to go back and watch it. It was really important. So I told you all about Love by Burrito now being called a specialty dining restaurant. I noticed someone put on in a comment under my video yesterday saying they went to book the Love by Burrito as specialty and it wouldn't let them. I think the system is going to catch up. When I was on the webinar with Princess yesterday, this is people, that this is their job. They work for Princess. They said that Love by Burrito is now specialty. So if you've got that Premier package, it's going to be included. So that's an important distinction. Let us all know if you go to book that, if it works for you. Alrighty, and I'll keep my eye out and let you know. I have 3 cruises booked on the Star Princess this year, and so I will let you know how it works for us to try to book our specialty dining as well. Next up, I wanted to tell you, yesterday I told you about the Circle Pacific cruise, that world cruise, and all of the segments that go with it, as well as that Grand Mediterranean Odyssey cruise. If you would like my help with those, just send me an email if you wouldn't mind. Messaging me, like if you send me a direct Facebook message, Gordon will catch those, but emailing me is the best. Just putting a comment, often I don't catch those, and so just send me an email and I would be delighted to work with you, and I am looking at doing a group for that October 6th. I've got to wait till it's released next week and see what we think, but if you're interested, definitely let me know, and I'm delighted to work with you. Just send me an email. Alrighty, let's talk all about the itinerary changes and cruise cancellations that are going on right now, because there are a lot of them. And let's start at the very top, talking about the Sky Princess. So the Sky Princess has her New Year's Eve cruise set to sail from Port Canaveral there in Florida, and it was initially done as a Western Caribbean cruise. Now it has been changed to being an Eastern Caribbean cruise. There are people on board who are happy about that. There are people on board who are not happy about that. But the ports that they have changed to, they are now going to be going to Grand Turk on December 30th, San Juan, Puerto Rico on Thursday, January 1st, and Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic on January 2nd. Finally, they'll be in Nassau, Bahamas on January 4th before heading back to Port Canaveral. I think that a really important thing to keep in mind with this is if you want to cancel your cruise, we are plenty, you've got plenty of time to do that. We are not within that final payment window. But I do think it would be really special to be on a ship on New Year's Eve. So kind of don't think of canceling just because of the itinerary change. Maybe keep in mind the special place that you would have the chance to be on New Year's Eve. Because of this, Princess is giving everyone booked on one of those cruises $25 of onboard credit, just as a way of saying, hey, we realized we changed your cruise. So let us know in the comments if you happen to be booked on that cruise. Alrighty, next up, I wanted to let you know that the Royal Princess finally has sailed from Auckland. She ended up being there in the port due to storms for, I believe it was just over 48 hours. And so she is finally underway. It's a great reminder. Be happy you're on a ship when these kind of things happen. And things truly can happen unexpectedly. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from everyone who is sailing on the Royal Princess. I appreciate all the updates. So let us know how the rest of your voyage goes. I hope that bad weather goes away and they have really nice weather now. So thanks for that update. A really big update is what MSC is doing. So MSC's Merviglia was due to depart on May 11th on a cruise, and that entire cruise has been canceled because of technical problems with the ship. So I love that we're this far out. You're still within that final payment window, but MSC is being very generous with what they're allowing people. So first of all, if you are booked on that cruise, like I said, it was supposed to sail on May 11th. If you book to another cruise by May 2nd, then you can leave the money that you had there and apply it to that booking. You'll also get $100 of onboard credit per person for the first 2 guests in the room, so up to $200 per cabin. And in addition to that, you get a 50% future cruise credit of how much cruise fare you paid on that you can apply towards any MSC sailing. I think that's absolutely wonderful. So if you're booked on that sailing and you don't book anything new by May 2nd, then they're going to refund your money and you still get that 50% future cruise credit to use on another MSC sailing. So I hope they get the ship fixed in that 1 week. Clearly they've got it all lined up to get her in and get everything taken care of. They were saying it just makes it so that she can't cruise as fast as she needs to be able to cruise, so they're going to get it fixed. So let us know in the comments as well if you happen to be booked on that sailing. You know, I like to keep you up to date on Viking. Viking Cruise Line is really expanding everywhere in the whole wide world, and I always get excited when it's on the Nile. So they have a brand new ship that is going to start sailing on the Nile this September. Her name is the Viking Amun, A-M-U-N, and she was actually floated out for the first time this week, and so it's a really important milestone for a ship, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about that. Finally, a Sun Princess cruise has been canceled. So it seems like we have a lot of shifting and repositioning with ship deployment, as they call it, with Princess lately. And so the Sun Princess was due to sail on March 19th of 2026 on a 6-night sailing from Barcelona. That whole sailing has been canceled now. And instead of doing a 6-night sailing from Barcelona, they are now going to do a 9-night sailing from Barcelona that will go from Barcelona over to Athens. And I love the itinerary of that new cruise. They're going to go to Naples, Mykonos, Santorini, Marseille, and Kusadasi. So excellent. And so if you happen to be booked on that, they are going to just refund your money back to you the way that you paid. And then if you want to book on the new cruise, you can. Or if you weren't booked on that cruise and you want to go on a 9-night, this might be a really great time to go. I have been looking at the itineraries waiting for transatlantics to come for 2027 for the springtime. I am so excited about that, and I am excited for people who are maybe going to be going over on the Sun Princess at the very beginning of 2026 as they take the ship back there and kind of lining up cruises. I think that's a splendid way to cruise. If you want to know more about that, just let me know. But I'm really excited. I always get excited for the Alaska season to start and for the European season to start. And then, of course, when the ships come back, the Caribbean is always marvelous. So let me know if you've got any questions. I'll see you tonight, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.